What's up, YouTube? Yesterday I made that Palladion Kaiju Garden OTK deck, but now I got another Palladion deck for you guys. This one uses more Palladions, and it also uses some of the Palladion spell and traps, which I did not use in my OTK yesterday because they didn't really help the OTK. So there was no point in running these cards in yesterday's deck. So now you get to see some of these cards in action. And also more control based as well, like hand traps and the Solemn Brigade. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the deck. So Thunder King the Lightning Strike Kaiju instead of this one, because for one it's cheaper, and for two it's got the same attack, so it doesn't really matter which one you run. In Cyber Dragons, you would obviously run this one over this one, but in this deck, it's better to run the Thunder King. Palladion of the Vast Sky, 3 of it. Palladion of the Celestial Bodies, 3 of it. Triple Rescue Cat, because you can summon 100 beasts off of it. Triple 100 beasts. Double Sacred Tree. Double Fiendish Illusion, which is the worst one of them all. I don't really like this one that much. Stats are too low. Ash Blossom, Triple Ash Blossom, Double Ghost Ogre, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Selective Reborn, 1 Soul Charge, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 World Legacy Inheritor. There's a lot of Reborn cards in here, because these cards like to be brought back from the grave, so... And some of these are only once per turn, like Selective Reborn and Inheritor are once per turn, so you don't want to run like multiple Inheritor or multiple Selective Reborn, so one of each of them is good enough. And then double Albade Palladion, double Reunite Palladion, and double Crusade Palladion, which these are the cards I didn't run in yesterday's deck. Triple Solemn Strike, 1 Solemn Judgment, and 1 Solemn Warning. No Pod Desires in this deck because Rescue Cat and the Beast. See, if you banish 2 of the Beasts, with Pod Desires, you will not be able to use Rescue Cat, so... Because you have to special summon 2. So... And for the extra deck, obviously Borreload, the new Boral Sword, I'm trying it out. Skull Dread, Firewall, and then double of each of the Palladion Link monsters, and the Troy Mare cards, Needle Fiber, which I didn't run in yesterday's deck, because I didn't think it was necessary, but obviously this one's a tuner, so you can special summon it straight from the deck. You can also special summon Ghost Ogre as well, or Ash Blossom, but you'll more than likely either summon Ghost Ogre or this from your deck. And then Underclock Taker is the final Link monster. So yeah, this is more of a control build. Yesterday the deck was more quicker, but obviously yesterday's deck would lose to the traps and stuff like that. This deck doesn't lose as hard to traps, since this is not an OTK deck. You can OTK with this deck though, even without all that OTK stuff I was running in yesterday's deck. Obviously yesterday I would summon Kaiju to my opponent and attacking the Rose tokens or whatever for OTKs, but there is none of that in this deck. Only double of each of the spell and traps because they're not like great cards. They're good, but they're not great, so there's no point in running any more of them than 2. And I was questioning even running more than 1 of this card. I didn't want to run like 2 of this, but I figured I would. I didn't know what else to add in here, so. But we went over the Palladion cards in yesterday's deck, so let's go over some of the traps. This one allows you to tribute a Palladion or World Legacy, and then you can spell summon one from your deck. And you can also, if you control a Palladion Link monster, your opponent cannot target your other monsters for attacks. So that's pretty good. This one powers up your Link monsters by 500, your Palladion Link monsters. And then it also allows a Palladion Link monster to attack all your opponent's monsters once each. So that is pretty good. Pretty good effect. The second effect's pretty good. The 500 attack is like why? But I guess it's better than nothing. And this one turns all your Palladion Link monsters or your Palladion monsters into Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon or whatever. It makes them unaffected by card effects. So it's pretty good. I wouldn't run any more than 2 of it though, because you can search it out for one thing with Regulix. And having more than one copy of it's not going to really do a whole lot of good. And you'll more than likely use it during your opponent's turn. You could use it during your turn as well, but it'll probably be better to use on your opponent's turn. Oh, wait a second. Okay, it is this turn. Yeah, so you do want to use it during your opponent's turn. I was thinking it was permanent, but no, it only lasts for the turn. So it's better to use it during your opponent's turn, unless you have to use it during your turn. Like if your opponent activates a trap to get rid of your card, like Mirror Force or something, use this as chain to Mirror Force. And hope your opponent doesn't activate another Mirror Force. But like I said, it'd be better on your opponent's turn. That way you'll be immune to monster effects and all that stuff during your opponent's turn. And yeah, just a bunch of control cards. A bunch of cards to bring back your Palladions from the grave. And that's pretty much really it. As you saw in yesterday's video, you know how the archetype works. So you get to see the deck in action again. And you get to see some of the spell and traps as well. So go ahead and check out the duels. And I will not be using Palladions tomorrow. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about me I'm not going to use them again. I use them 2 days in a row. That's enough. So tomorrow's deck will be different. So see you in tomorrow's video and later.